that sounds good.
Yes.
That was one of the pieces, because for me personally, this is not about me. This is about building wealth for my kids. Once I'm not here anymore.
Well,
And
that's going to be a long time from now, so you can enjoy it too.
well, yeah, I can enjoy it. You know, and I have my 401k that's doing what it's doing. Um, and so I mean I'm comfortable right now. I don't work, I'm retired, I'm living in my same house, I'm comfortable.
Okay.
um, but I do realize, especially for me as an African American persuasion, that we as a culture don't know enough, and we can't sit back and wait for someone to grab us by the arm and say, "Come along." We have to be proactive, and this is what I'm trying to show my children,
Yeah.
that this is something that is doable, and make it as simple as possible. I invited them to come with me when I started trading school, and they were like, "Oh, no, 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 no. See, I'm great at reading charts. I can do that. I have different ways of doing that." And I've studied, well, not studied, I've looked at the Ethereum charts as well as the Bitcoins. And so I'm not quite there yet in formulating, because you've been involved with it a little longer, some of the patterns that come up in it. Um, and because it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, it's not manipulated. I mainly now trade currencies, and
On the
currency
Forex?
on Forex, yes. Um, and currencies, they're manipulated, just like futures. They're manipulated. So,
Everything. I think everything to a certain degree is
well,
manipulated.
it is, but it's interesting if, and I don't know if this is cheating, if we could get to the point where we really understand the energies of people's thinking, because all of this is affected by thought, everything. And if we can be able to read it, we kind of be able to go, okay, I can see where the thought is. Okay, it's going to dip. We may not know how much. Oh, I think everybody's predicting this big dip in the market coming soon, and this, that, and the other. I don't know. I I can just get a sense of certain areas where it could dip to.
Yeah.
And these are not little, they're big areas. So you have to look at, weekly and monthly, chart data. But this is like, this is Chinese to me. And as a little uncomfortable as I am totally excited.
Nice. Well, one thing I'd like to share is that the fact that you know how to read charts is you're way ahead of the game. I was pretty comfortable reading charts too when I got started, but I didn't understand way long time ago when I first started, noticing Bitcoin in 2012 and 2013. I didn't understand that it was a tradable commodity, because at the time everybody was talking about Bitcoin as being a payment platform, that it's going to replace money. So I kept I wanted to get some Bitcoin so I could go down and buy a cup of coffee. I wanted to experience how to use it as a currency. And then after, by 2015, I realized that that's not the way Bitcoin's actually being used. I learned about exchanges, and it's like, well, it's being traded on exchanges. And there are some very definite patterns to how it trades. And I just finished course number 4 in my Get Started bundle of courses on lifeofcrypto.com. And this 4th course is called Monitor Cryptos and Sell Losers. And it's all about how to read charts, to know when you should think about getting out of a cryptocurrency position versus when you might want to add to it. And you knowing about charts made me think about that, because one of the chapters, I went over patterns specific to cryptocurrency based on Bitcoin trading. And it's a lot about how the Bitcoin halving affects the bull and bear runs in Bitcoin. And the altcoin markets, which is basically anything that isn't Bitcoin, every other cryptocurrency on the market, altcoins, tend to follow Bitcoin to a degree. So I recommend everybody who's new to crypto and wants to know more to go check out my courses. They're very affordable, and I have some that are free. We have some great articles on lifewithcrypto.com. And they're the Get Started bundle. You can do the bundle or you can do them one at a time. You don't have to do the bundle. But I talked about charting and how the patterns in Bitcoin are different from the patterns of the stock market.
Yeah, and that was something that I saw off right away, and so that's when I said, okay, I want to study this a little more.
Well,
because that's good info. That's a good sense.
Yeah, because we've been, you guys and I, we've all been together for, some of us, for as many as 10 or 11 years in our meditation group. I'm going to offer you guys a discount, a 20% discount, and I'll create a discount code and I'll share it to the group, to the chat in our messenger chat, so that you guys can take advantage of a 20% off of the Get Started courses.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think I'll do that.
Thanks.
Hey, I've got oh, sorry, go ahead.
I have just one question. I'm not going to be able to stay on for more than like 10 or 15 more minutes. I've got to run, but I just wanted to know, Coinbase is starting an NFT marketplace. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I saw that you asked that earlier, and so I went and did a little bit of research before the call. And here's what I know is it's not here yet, bottom line. They are launching an NFT marketplace here, and right now, all they have is a wait list. You can join the wait list on Coinbase.
I joined the wait list, but they also yes, I'm on position 100 and something thousand.
Yeah.
And if you refer to other people and they join, you move up the wait list. But I don't have a whole lot of people that I can refer to. If anyone wants to join, let me know. I'll send you a code.
Go ahead. You can send me a code and I'll help you go up the wait list.
Yeah, me too. You send me a code. That is
if it doesn't cost anything, send me too. I don't know what it is, but
no, it's a code. You have to actually join the wait list, and then I get to move ahead. Then you can send it to all your friends.
Yeah, so the Coinbase Marketplace is not, it doesn't exist yet, but they're working on it. And it does say that it's supposed to launch to the public in 2021, and there isn't a lot left of 2021, so they better get on the ball. I will talk just a little bit about NFTs. That you brought it up, and I know you're interested in them. Just to help you help Randy, you and Deanna know what an NFT is. Right now, cryptocurrencies that are regular cryptocurrencies, I'll call them, they are all fungible, either crypto coins or crypto tokens. They are fungible. One can be exchanged for another. One Bitcoin can be exchanged for another Bitcoin. One Ether can be exchanged for another Ether. They are the same thing. They have the same value, I'll say. They aren't exactly the same thing. In the same way that $1 bill it has the same value as another dollar bill, even though they have different serial numbers. They're technically different bills, but they have the same value and they can be traded with the same value. Well, this all started on Ethereum. Because of the smart contracts on Ethereum, somebody came up with the idea of creating what's called non-fungible tokens. So a non-fungible token is a piece of code that oftentimes has something attached to it. It creates a coin, a cryptocurrency or a crypto coin. It creates a coin using the code, smart contract code, and it can have something attached to it. What's really popular right now are JPEGs. So people are creating art, some of it kind of gruesome. People are creating art as a JPEG, connecting it to a non-fungible crypto coin, and then they sell those on platforms. So OpenSea is the most popular one right now until the Coinbase NFT Marketplace is created. OpenSea.io is the most popular place to trade your NFTs.
So weird.
So people,
And what about gaming?
So
now,
weird.
I want you to notice how much this is being asked for right now. This is an Ether, 1.75 Ether for that. How much is an Ether worth right now?
4,000 something.
Something.
Pretty damn close. So they want 1.75 Ether for that.
Does it do something other than it's a picture? Huh?
It doesn't do anything. It's just a picture.
Jeepers.
Yeah, exactly. Jeepers is right. So I actually did buy one NFT because I wanted the experience of buying it and seeing what it was about. And the only place I figured out how to save it and hold it is in my Coinbase wallet, not Coinbase Exchange. I have it in my Coinbase wallet on my phone. And I'll see if I can show you what it is. I don't know if it's going to be very, let's see, where's the phone? This is what I bought. Let's see if my phone can pick it up.
No, I can't see it.
Yeah, I know, not yet. Give it a sec. Let's see if it'll come into focus.
No.
It doesn't want to find it. Let me see if I can find them on OpenSea, because that is where I bought it. It is Singularity 035. There it is right there. This is the one that I bought because it
Nice
reminded
picture.
me of the green coating. And then I was thinking about buying the one that looks pretty magenta-like by the same people, because this is created from resonance. And I just thought the artwork was interesting.
Huh.
And so the people that created this, they call themselves No Art Art. They have lots of ones like that. Let's see if we can look at some of them. And so I came in and looked at a lot of their stuff because they make it with, it's all about resonance and frequencies, which I thought was interesting. And they have that series that I showed you with all the color. I don't know where to find it in here, but let me see if I can find Singularity and get all their other stuff, not just the one that I have.
And I also heard that it's getting into gaming.
NFTs have been a part of gaming for years. And one of the trainings I did for tax accountants years ago, I actually said that the IRS is completely ignoring NFTs because they only existed inside games. So inside games, you could buy and trade your NFTs, because think of an NFT like a baseball card. You know how people trade baseball cards, and the Hank Aaron baseball card will be worth a lot, and some other baseball card will be worth a little. NFTs are just like baseball cards, only they're digital and they're on a blockchain. So I think I got off track. I was trying to answer your question there. I wanted to see singularity of sound. I wanted to see if I could include unlockable content. I bought this and I couldn't figure out how to get to the other content that supposedly came with it. You'll see that right now it's owned by me, Silent Walker. And down below it'll say, I think I paid $150 for it. Yeah.
I kind of got a burning question here.
Yeah. Oh, here's more from the collection. Yeah. I wanted to show you their others because I wanted to buy the one that looked kind of like magenta. the magenta color code. Here we go. View the collection. That's what I wanted to do. They have 100 items in the collection, and their floor price was 0.05 Ether. And I was able to get it for, I think, $150. So I was willing to do that as an experiment.
Cool.
Yeah. So what's your question?
Well, so, you know, this talk about Ethereum and how it's you can program code for it to do other things. As we're talking, it's these connections are being made to this conversation I had about 2 months ago with some very wealthy friends who were telling me what they were into, and I had a few drinks, and so I was trying to comprehend it, but I'm thinking that it's connected to this because they were talking about, I know they were talking about blockchain, and they were talking about using it like, for example, for like loans, you know, they're in loans and like for mortgages and being able to connect.
Yes.
So that, you know, now they'll be able to do it so where you could, you know, have paperwork for a mortgage all squared away in like minutes, you know, or like an hour, and everything done online. He said it's going to change everything.
Yes.
And is it connected to this, like built on Ethereum kind of thing?
So what you're talking about is DeFi.
Okay.
It's an acronym.
Decentralized finance. Yes. DeFi. Yes.
Yes.
Now that I know that part I understand. That part I got.
Very good. So DeFi is short for decentralized finance, and there's two hot crazes going on in the blockchain world right now. NFTs is one of them, and DeFi is the other. So DeFi started out, it was something that I was excited about in the beginning because I could wrap my head around it. It's like, cool. You can, there are certain platforms. I actually have some on, let me think of the name of the platform I use, BlockFi. Let's see, BlockFi. So there are a few platforms out there that will let you put your cryptocurrencies onto their platform, and you get paid interest. I use BlockFi right now, and I do it on my phone. And I sent some Litecoin to them. I think I sent like 5 Litecoin. And I earn a little bit of interest on my Litecoin. And how is it that they can pay me interest? Because they take the cryptocurrencies I've given them. Now, here's the thing, Deanna, you no longer own the private key when you put money into a platform like BlockFi.
Yeah, that was my biggest hesitancy in all of this. Yeah.
Mine too, which is why I put a small amount in there as an experiment. I put in 5 Litecoin, and I earn interest. Now, why can I earn interest? Why can they pay it? Because they take the crypto coins that I've given them and they loan them out to somebody else. And they get a higher interest from the people that they loan them to. And then they pay me a little bit of that interest that they get back. And I'm fine with that. I make a little. Now, what's really cool about BlockFi is you can choose to have your interest paid to you in the same cryptocurrency that you put on the platform. In my case, it was Litecoin, or you can choose to get paid in Bitcoin. I actually earn a little bit of Bitcoin because I choose to have my interest paid in Bitcoin on BlockFi. Now, Randy, what you are talking about is a much more complex side of DeFi. Right now, in the DeFi world, let's see if I can, you can borrow money. There's lots of places where you can borrow money. And there's a website somewhere that shows the rates. Let me see if I can find it here. You can. It's quite complex. I got to tell you. You can. Let's say if you had been in Here's some of them right here, shows you rates. So these are rates that you can earn. Cryptocurrency, I think these are the ones that you can earn as opposed to what you have to pay them. So I get a little confused. Which is it telling me the rate I'm going to earn, or is it telling me the rate that people that borrow have to pay? Here, maybe this is the borrow rates over here. So let's say pretend like back in 2015 when I bought my first Bitcoin. Let's say I was smarter at the time and I had bought 10 Bitcoins. And 10 Bitcoins right now would be worth, I don't know, what, $600,000. And let's say I wanted to buy a house, but I didn't want to go out and get a normal mortgage. I could put up my 10 Bitcoin and borrow against the Bitcoin without selling the Bitcoin.
Huh.
So you use it as collateral.
Huh.
And then you can get paid in US dollars or whatever, and you can take that money that you get from putting up your collateral and you can go buy your house. But now the thing is you have to repay that Bitcoin that you borrowed. So if you're smart, you take your $600,000 worth of Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoins, and maybe you only put up 4 or 5 of them. You borrow against 4 or 5 Bitcoin so that you make sure you have some left over to pay it back. But you can take the money that you were able to loan against your Bitcoin and go buy your house.
Wow.
And this is the part that I'm not involved in yet because this DeFi stuff is a little intense. There's a lot of people getting involved in DeFi doing things that, you know, to me, I don't know. It seems a little shady. It may not be shady, but I'm not that involved in the financial world to want to get involved with it.
Interesting.
And some this is all done through smart contracts, and some smart contracts have been hacked. And so that makes me nervous.
Okay. No, that was just an interesting overview. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I got two little questions left.
Yes.
One is, you mentioned altcoin. Is that a crypto or is that a term?
Altcoin is a term that means all cryptocurrencies that are not Bitcoin. They are alternative coins.
Ah, okay.
Rosemary, let me ask Randy real quick. Rosemary, did you get your question answered about NFTs?
Yes, I did. Thank you. Yes.
You're very welcome.
I guess my last question is EFTs. We started to talk about that.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up because the very first Bitcoin EFT just got approved this summer, just recently.
I heard that, and see, I heard that, and I'm interested in seeing how that goes. That'll be interesting to see because I'm familiar with EFTs. You know,
so EFT stands for Exchange Traded Fund. And here it is right here. The Bitcoin ETF that was just approved, and I did not know this until I went and did some research. Let me see if this other article gives me what I'm looking for. Yes, I think this will be maybe a good place to start. One of these will tell me something I want to know. Let's start with this. Very, very important to understand that this very first Bitcoin ETF is not based on Bitcoin.
It's a derivative.
It is based on Bitcoin futures.
Which is a derivative.
Which is a derivative. Now, I do not believe derivatives should be in cryptocurrency. I don't think there's a need for it. I honestly believe that derivatives are a great way to manipulate markets. And I believe that's exactly what's happening in the stock market. And I'm a little bit disappointed to see so many derivatives being created in cryptocurrency right now. And that's probably part of the reason why we may not have our humongous swings, 80 to 90% up and 80 to 90% down, because derivatives traders will cause the markets to stay a little more flat. I prefer the big swings myself. But a lot of people are really into greed. And I think derivatives trading is a lot about greed. And when I heard about that the first Bitcoin ETF was based on Bitcoin futures, I wasn't as interested in it after that. And the other thing that I could have sworn I found on some research place I found is that brokerage firms that offer the Bitcoin ETF, which is the BITO, is what it's called. Let's see. BITO is the symbol. I believe somewhere I read that it doesn't just hold Bitcoin futures in the Bitcoin ETF, that it actually may have lots of other things in that ETF that has nothing to do with Bitcoin.
So it's like a basket.
I think so. That's what I read somewhere. And I would say, verify what I just said. Yeah, do you really know what's in your ETF? See, right there, it isn't necessarily what you think it is. And this might not be specifically about Bitcoin, but not all they have so much advertisements in these things, it's hard to see the actual article. But ETFs are not all made up of what you think they are. So it's good to do your research. I'm going to say that's enough of that.
Yeah. This was great.
So we've been at it for about an hour and a half, and that's about how long I thought we would go on for the first one.
Now this is I want to thank you, Kelly. This is very informative. I'm going to go through the information that I have at my fingertips, so that if we have this the next time, I can be a little bit more focused, because right now I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
But I am very much interested in purchasing Cardano.
ADA. ADA is the actual.
ADA.
Yeah.
I always say ADA, but it's ADA. I'm interested in purchasing ADA before the year is out, and so.
Fantastic. So,
yeah.
So would you guys be interested in doing one of these question and answer sessions again?
Doing another one, like with different topics, different questions.
Yes, and what I would ask is that maybe you guys, Randy, if you're up for it, I'd put you in charge of it if you want. Collect everybody's questions so that I can prepare a little bit more ahead of time and know what kind of answers I need to, have. I mean, I know a lot of stuff, but I don't remember all the details because I've been doing this for so many years, and some of it I haven't thought about for years.
Right. Well, thank you so much for having this.
Yeah.
Very, very much. For me, I would like a little bit of time to do my own research, to get things together, to put things together more in my head. And that way, the questions that I have are not, in different places. So for me personally, right now, I'm focused on purchasing ADA and getting my feet in the door.
Yeah.
And it's it's affordable.
Yeah, and you know what? So Deanna, if we do another one of these, I'll call them a Q&A. We could call them something else, but right now I'll just call it a Q&A. We could do another one in, say, a month, maybe 2. And once you've figured out how to do that, Deanna, it might be extremely helpful if you shared a little bit of your experience about how you got your ADA, and if you staked it, how you did that. And that might be just also help other people on the call learn something.
That's fine.
Yeah, maybe we just, think about it, Kelly, maybe a date in like a couple months.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot for us to digest here, I think.
Yeah.
And then we could put out another notice in our little messenger chat about, hey, we're another one coming on such a date, like maybe a month out, and then say, send me questions if you plan to participate, and we'll collect questions, so that we can, and we'll discuss the most popular topics or something like that.
I think that's great. I'd love to have a little more leeway, a little heads up about what people want to know, so I can do a little bit more research and stick to those topics so that I'm prepared.
Right.
And I'm thinking that maybe we should enter the end of December, because end of November is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I like that.
So maybe before the year end is up, maybe the 30th or the 29th or something like that.
That would work for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one thing, okay, see, now it's very interesting. Before I go, the one thing, if you're interested in looking at charts and just kind of getting a feel, TradingView is a free site.
TradingView,
where you can look at different everything, but they have the well, I have Dodge, I have the Dodge, I have ADA, and I have Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is the ones that I were looking at.
So here's the chart that I just created in TradingView for my course. It's still showing. This chart is actually showing one of the concepts that I brought up in my training. I'll squish it down so you can see a little bit more of it, about how the markets have run based on the Bitcoin halving. So yes, I 100% agree with you, Deanna, that TradingView is wonderful.
And so I have on TradingView on the weekly an area where I'm looking at that I think it may go back down to where I would be willing to purchase.
To purchase the ADA?
To purchase ADA, yes.
Oh, it'd be nice to, do you want to share your screen before you go? And
if you can.
Yeah.
Do I have the ability to do that here?
Yeah, I think you do. Let me say, I have to stop sharing my screen. And
so is he having like a stock split?
No, a halving is where I explain that Bitcoin's, hold on one sec, one question at a time. So down at the bottom, Deanna, you'll see a square with an arrow in it.
Yeah.
And hover over it, it says present now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, present your entire screen.
Yeah, say entire screen, and then it'll give you the option to select a screen.
Here we go.
There you go.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Why does it look faded for me?
What's that?
I mean, the screen is faded. Oh, well, I can have it. So if you see here, one of the things for me that I look at is where prices shot up. And I mean, some people are like support and resistant traders, which, the ceiling and the floor, basically. But I look at areas as to where prices shot up, which means that there are probably buyers around this area that they didn't get a chance to buy, or they go, oh, I want to buy some more. And so I look at this area, and this is a weekly. And if you go down to a daily, there are certain patterns that I look at. And so this is one of them right here.
Yeah.
Between $1.40 and $1.50. And it's, more or less. So I'm looking to see if it gets down that low.
I'll be really surprised if it falls down that far, but if it does, that would be a great.
I'm looking also at where it is and where it went to. So you have this area over here, and it may not. There's no exact science So there's a couple of places, which I have to go back and look, but there's a couple of places that you may want to choose as to where you may decide to purchase or to sell.
Yeah, that's great information.
So,
and learning how to read charts is a skill and an art.
Yeah, I'll stop presenting.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's very good. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, thank you. That was interesting. Yes.
Yeah, I and it's, I said to myself after retiring, okay, what am I going to do now? And so, interesting enough, I heard this gentleman speak about, 2020 and whatever. And I said something to Jim Self about it. And he just so happened to be at an symposium where this man was presenting. And I said, oh, sign. And so I found the school where they were giving, the freebies. And it just taught me how to read charts. And I've been doing this since 2015.
What was the name of the training?
It's called Online Trading Academy.
Let me put that on the screen so everybody can see it.
Now, wait a minute. Before you guys get excited, they are extremely expensive.
Okay.
Full disclosure, I had to take money out of my 401k to be able to afford this. But what I love about it is that it is forever.
One-time charge?
So yeah, it's a one-time charge. And I'm not saying they just got out of a lawsuit. I'm going to tell you full disclosure.
Uh-oh.
They just got out of a lawsuit by some students. And it wasn't as if they lost, but they did have to pay money. It'll let you know right up front that, this is for educational purposes, all the blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
They have, is that Merlin? Because if that's Merlin, that's the guy that really knows a lot about crypto.
Is this the right website?
Yeah, well, this is, yeah. And they have, back then I went to the school because there's one near me, but you can take all of the classes online. But I'm not advocating for this.
Yeah.
Please hear me. I'm not advocating. I'm just sharing my experience about it. And I learned about stocks. I learned about futures.
Yeah.
I learned about options, and I learned about Forex. For me, Forex, if you really want to get into trading, just understanding trading, to me, Forex is the easiest because one, you don't need a lot of money. You can open up a Forex account with $25 and you can trade Forex, but you can just play around with it so you can understand. Now, Forex is a different market, kind of moves a little slower. Futures is a little more expensive. That moves a little faster.
Yeah, I personally didn't like Forex. I much prefer just sticking with cryptocurrency.
Well, I can understand because that's, you've invested a lot in that. And so I understand that. For me, Forex is a long term.
Yeah.
I started off as a day trader.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I have something going on, so I'm going to have to bow out right now.
I'm going to cut the conversation for me anyway, because I can go on about it. But
I want to say thank you to everyone. It's nice seeing you all here. And we shall meet again. Thank you again so much, Kelly. All right.
Bye. Thank you for being here.
Blessings. I'm going to, cut this because I can go on forever. But
Yeah,
Yeah, I probably should buy out too. My wife's probably waiting for us to go out to dinner.
I think we all have to. It's a
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much.
you
Thank you.
I learned so much more than I expected. It was.
Yes, I do too.
I feel like
because there's a lot of
I feel like
terminology
something's opened up here for me.
that
So I'm excited.
was not aware of. A lot of
Yeah.
terminology.
So I'm thinking that as I looked at the calendar, the next possibility might be right around December 29th or 30th. December 30th is a Thursday. That's a good day for me.
It's good for me too because I'm going to be on vacation, so I'll have